face both wolves within you. Because if you want to kill off and bury the other one, that's only a thought. Just like anyone that murdered someone because they pissed them off or something. You killed that person, they lived on. They're coming back, and you never know. They might come up. No, I'm only kidding. They might come back and kill you. But what I'm saying is you never actually kill anything. You sweep it under the rug. And when things start sweeping under the rug, they cause problems. Mold starts growing. Alright, hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Thank you for joining me today. If you're new to the channel, don't forget, click subscribe. I'm Val Mason. Let's get right into it. Today we're going to talk about the different wolves that live within us. We got the wolf of darkness and the wolf of light. And the wolf of darkness, as you can imagine, is hatred, jealousy, envy, fear. And the wolf of light is love, compassion, understanding, spiritual truth. And both live within us. So the wolf that you give the most attention to, the wolf that you feed, is going to be the wolf that you're going to see the most of. It's going to get stronger. It's going to get louder, both inside and out. So if you're feeding the narratives of fear and hatred and jealousy, that's what's going to continue being echoed. That's why it's so important to remember that both live within us. Because here's a tricky paradox of the two wolves. Feeding the wolf of darkness can also be disguised as feeding the wolf of light. You might be deeply lying to yourself and not even aware of it. Subconsciously lying to yourself. This is where awareness and consciousness becomes your greatest weapon. Because it's not the ones out there who are tricking you. It's right here. It's within you. It's your own subconscious beliefs that have been programmed within you that are deceiving you from reaching more joy, happiness, alignment, and everything like that, everything that we want. The subconscious beliefs, because hatred and fear, jealousy, envy, that's all the result of a belief. Think about it. When's a time where you felt like somebody had more than you, or somebody was more than you, or something like that reflected the belief of lack and unworthiness or inadequacy? And you acted out. You acted on that belief because you had fear within you that they were going to win, or they were going to get it, or they were going to, get to go further, or whatever the case may be. If you start dissecting those beliefs and looking at it for what it is without getting caught up in that belief and narrative itself, you're able to see more clearly. You understand that these are beliefs. Now, I know when this belief is playing out, you can feel it in your body. It's a belief system, okay? We've always heard about the power of belief. It's profound. In fact, what you believe becomes your reality. That's why you are the creator. And arguably the reason that we are alive is to be able to experience these beliefs and remember the unwavering spiritual truth of who and what we are below all of those layers of programming. So it's a really beautiful thing, it's scary, sure, man, like it's chaotic, it's stressful, life itself, this pivotal point of awakening and spiritual warfare and the energetic storms that are playing out and occurring on our planet right now. It's kind of like really coming to a head. Like, yeah, sure, history repeats itself. It's nothing new. But, it's undeniably in a way in which we've never seen before on a scale. I forget what I was going to say. That happens to me all the time. The beliefs are coming to a head. And again, back to the both wolves live within you. This hatred, this darkness, all these subconscious programs that have been buried in the psyche of humanity for thousands of years are coming to a head. And simultaneously, the light warriors are waking up. Because again, you cannot have one without the other. And both live within. So A light warrior is going to understand that and know that both darkness and light, both evil and good, live within them and within every person. What if we realize that? Like, what if we realize that? That's radical personal responsibility and taking accountability. Because then, no matter what's going on, we see it as an opportunity to learn about ourselves and our own beliefs and strengthen our relationship with them. That is going to create peace, ultimately. You know, that's going to create a better world, because until we realize that both of them live within us, that's not just figuratively speaking. We're in a hologram. We are literally all one. The eyesight, the way that we perceive things as separate is the illusion of this really dense, unreal dimension that we're here and we get to play in. Yeah, and that's really freaking hard for people to remember and be able to grasp. Because if we get cut, we start bleeding. You know, we use the bathroom, bones break, and so on and so forth. And we feel it physically. But the more you start to feel into that, the more you become curious and interested in, you know, energetics and higher levels of consciousness and higher levels of understanding, the more it will actually make sense in a way where you can see through the illusion, and yes, through the illusion of like even a bone breaking, you know. Again, here I go. I get branched off and then I freaking lose my mind. I wish I wasn't so scatterbrained like that. You're deeply lying to yourself if you think that, you know, you can kill off one wolf and feed the other. Like I said, a lot of times feeding the wolf of darkness is disguised as feeding the wolf of light. You want to be light, you want to do light, you know, you want to spread love, you want to, but watch. Are you being a victim underneath? Are you operating on victim mentality underneath of it? Is that all an act? Is it all a performance, that light and love? Because if you really want to achieve that, if you want to be able to resonate in this state of unity consciousness and love, and be able to have access to that eternal path to joy, you're going to courageously face both wolves within you. Because if you want to kill off and bury the other one, that's only a thought. Just like anyone that murdered someone because they pissed them off or something. You killed that person, they lived on. They're coming back, and you know, you never know. They might come up. No, I'm only kidding. They might come back and kill you. But what I'm saying is you never actually kill anything. You sweep it under the rug. And when things start sweeping under the rug, they cause problems. Mold starts growing. Brings in other critters and creatures that, you know, infest your home and your living space and your psyche and everything else like that. Again, it's all one. It's all symbolic. We live in a symbolic realm. Whatever's happening on the outside is literally a reflection of something that's happening on the inside. It's cool. It's really neat. But you're gonna have to bear with me, man. I'm like doing the best I can in life in general right now with keeping my mind together. There's so much information that flows through me. Like I'm cool with it, you know. I'm cool with me getting scatterbrained and losing my thought. I'm not embarrassed or upset about it at all, because I know I'm going to deliver the message ultimately. So again, you know, it's a belief. Hatred is a result of belief. That's what I was saying. Then you start acting out on these beliefs, and, you know, you kill people and you stab people and you steal from people, and you have so much hate that bubbles and boils inside of you and torments you, causes sickness and disease. And here's the point of confusion for people. It's because it's a belief, and the power of belief is immense, and they don't have yet access to higher levels of being and consciousness and who they truly are, the higher you go, the deeper you go, they can't see that eternal, unwavering flame of truth that they are. They're wrapped up here in like the limiting beliefs. That's why it's so terrifying and so doom-filled. And, you know, people are just so quick to just damn everything to hell and say that everything is shit. The minute you say that things are shit, you might as well say, I just am an irresponsible spiritual being in a human body. Because if you really want to be responsible, if you really want to make a difference, not only in your life, but in the world, you're going to realize that all the beliefs in the world that are causing war and division and genocide right now is the result of a lack of consciousness and access to the higher realms of understanding and consciousness. Once you tap into that place, you saw the truth, you know the truth, you no longer want to hide, let alone can you hide from that. That's when you're like, you buckle down and you're like, I got to be responsible and process these thoughts and emotions and beliefs that are holding me back and causing sickness and causing destruction and causing hatred and joy and the division and everything else. You know, everything that we don't want to experience. Now, you know, things are not as clean cut as we would like them to be. We have tools, we have knowledge. It's up to us to know how to apply them and when to apply them. And how to build that spiritual muscle and strength within us. Because when we talk about it and we want to make it clean cut and have a line between black and white like that, that's why the yin and the yang, you know, there's a little black spot in the yin and a little white spot in the yang. Because nothing's ever black or white, you know, nothing is ever divided. It's one, it merges together. And to be able to process both of them at the same time and remember, okay, I'm having this belief right now. I feel like shit, like it's causing my body to hurt. I don't know what to do. Like, I just want to snap. My blood's boiling over, whatever the case may be, whatever you're dealing with, you know, rage, anger, sadness, grief, where it feels like you're dragging your knuckles on the ground and you have like zero energy. I've experienced it all. You want to, at the bare minimum, hold fast to like, I gotta like feel this right now. I gotta be able to process this, but I'm gonna hold on because I know that there's more. There's so much more that my brain can't hold it all. There's so much more that my brain couldn't even begin to fathom how much more there is, how much bliss, how much beauty, how much joy, how much ecstasy that you will experience again. So when you're able to like process this, and even when you're in those states of ecstasy and everything's going beautifully and everything is smooth, you remember that, you know, you're going to experience some sort of hardship again. Some sort of pain, some sort of fear, some kind of grief, some subconscious belief of like unworthiness. But then you're like, I'm going to be able to work through that because I remember the light. So, but if you were in a space of great bliss and elation and joy, and you thought that that was your glide into the sunset, it might hit you like a ton of bricks when something else comes along. So it's not to take away from the joy that you're experiencing in that moment, but it's to be aware that, like, you know, you can't get through life without experiencing the full spectrum of emotion. And precisely it's experiencing the full spectrum of emotion that makes you a strong charactered being, you know, and a strong spirited being. You know, a smooth sea never made a skillful sailor. It's the same thing. So, but you know what? It's like you look around and there's lots and lots and lots of people that just want to believe that that they're good, that there's just goodness in them. But let me tell you something. Nothing's set in stone. It's what you choose to do. It's what you choose to give your attention to, what you intend to do, and then what you actually do and how you train these pathways in your mind in through that recipe of setting intention and taking action. Because you could have someone that's super angelic, for years or for half of the first half of their life, and then something might happen. Anything might happen. You never, not just, it could literally be anything. People have suffered hits to the head and changed overnight. So, you rattle the pot and new pieces might come up. It's the same thing. Whatever happens to us, you never know. That person could turn evil and they could start displaying, a side that no one's ever seen before. So it's not, but that can be corrected. I can't stand when people say that people can't be corrected. Every person's situation is different, and the layers are complex and deep. But you get the right kind of therapy and the right kind of environment, miracles can happen. People can change overnight for the better. As the saying, that's the beauty of the brain. Nothing's set in stone. Nothing's permanent. So no matter what you're going through, you have the power to change it. And whatever your frequency you're operating in, whatever intention and story and thoughts that you have in your mind and in your heart is going to be reflected outside of you. So if you really wanted to change, you're going to make the changes in your physical life. You're going to make the changes in your internal world. And that's going to then be reflected on the outside. Of course, you'll get the tests. Things will test you to see if you're actually ready to make that change. But there's also going to be a lot of support that comes and reflects it. It's like we're the creator. You're the creator. It's whatever you choose to do. That's what your life becomes. Whatever you choose to focus on. Now, whatever's going on here is part of this reality. It's part of this game. Does that mean that everything here is for the best, for the highest good of all? No. Just like all the food that you enjoy to eat, is that the best for your body? No. So it's whatever we choose to do is going to be what's reflected and is literally going to be the structure of our reality. That's why it's important to be responsible for what you do. And it's like, it's crazy. You got people doing anything today. With social media and the internet, there's people walking through the grocery stores and like putting buckets over people's heads and like they're falling down in front of the camera, acting like the camera's not like. People can just do anything today and get a million bazillion likes. But what's going on there? What is that? What's that inspiring? What's that waking up? I'm not saying that you can't have fun. Please do. You have to have fun. But make your fun have some sort of meaning. Make the majority of whatever you do, whatever you watch, whatever you eat, whoever you hang around, the majority, like 70% or more, be something that's sustaining, life-giving, positive, purposeful, inspirational. You want to grow a plant. So, the wolves within us, the wolf within you, which one are you feeding the most of? If you realize you are feeding that wolf of darkness, and you've been feeding that wolf of darkness for a long time, and you can see the echoes in those patterns date back decades, and it makes you fearful that you're doomed for the rest of your life and, however long or more. You have the power to change. You can change. You're not hopeless. You're not helpless. You can start meditating. You can start eating cleaner. You can start working out more. You can start changing the way that you speak to yourself within. You can start singing every love song to your own soul. You can stand in the mirror and talk lovingly about yourself. You can focus on your strengths, and you can focus on loving and giving more attention to the parts of yourself that are more difficult to love, like the parts of you that you might have abandoned or where you feel unworthy, or, it could be anything. Like maybe you think that you're awkward, or maybe you think you don't have as much as someone else, or Maybe you think you look not as attractive as somebody, whatever it is, whatever parts of you that you tend to neglect or bury and shame, and it happens subconsciously. So pay attention to it. And when you notice yourself doing it, take a moment to be still and sit with yourself and breathe with it. And choose to really bring that belief to the forefront of your awareness. And sit with it and be with it courageously and recognize it as just a belief. That that's not who you are. And can you open to it? Can you start pouring your own love and your own compassion and understanding and acceptance, true acceptance, into those parts and places? And begin filling in those cracks with the gold of your own love. You might start, those rough edges that you have might start smoothening out. You might start feeling better. You feel better, you look better. You know, you just, your whole aura changes. Your energetic field extends out further. You're more life-giving. You're inspired to then help others do the same thing. So that all begins with choosing to feed the wolf of light. Now, I've really just, I just don't like creating boxes for things, because just, you know, relationships are so complex. There's nothing simple about them. Our internal psyche is so complex. There's nothing simple about it. We definitely don't want to create any boxes and any separation of anything and start saying the wolf of dark and the wolf of light, you know, because things are just not that clean cut. They're not that simple. And when you do start dividing things, you start shaming the other, you know, like divide and conquer, right? You don't want to have that mentality. You want to have the mentality of unity. How can I love myself? How can I plug my light into my dark a little bit and plug my dark into my light? That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm saying. And be able to consciously control the two and stay on top. Let me tell you, things are getting really blended together today. It can be really terrifying and confusing and be easy to slip into the belief of being lost if you don't maintain a very healthy and strong connection with your own soul, to be able to listen in stillness to your own soul. Listen to the currents moving within you, and also be able to function within other people and within their own beliefs and, you know, their own guides and their own truth. Because what rings true for one person might be totally opposite for the other, and that doesn't make either one of them right. Just the question is, what rings true to you? If whatever they're doing isn't ringing true to you, you do not need to correct them. You do not need to be right. You don't, it doesn't matter how strongly you believe that you're right. You can't force anyone to follow what you believe or what you know to be true or whatever. As long as you live true to it and you are the example, they shouldn't bother you. The only thing that would bother you is the belief that you're somehow not able to follow your own heart and guidance. That's what causes the frustration and the fear and everything like that. That starts being projected. So, guys, I'm sorry that I was so scatterbrained in this. But there it is. May the wolf that you feed be the one that brings you the most joy, the most alignment, the most happiness, the most magic. May you see life through the eyes of love and wonder and be able to bless the world with your beautiful, unique frequency. Thank you for liking today's video. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel and join the community to continue receiving guidance as you reclaim your divinity and step into your soul purpose at this pivotal time on the planet.